Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey guys, give me 1 second. Sorry, kind of a weird start. Just have to go do something real fast. I'll be back in like 20 seconds. All right, sorry about that, but welcome and thank you guys for being here and hanging out on this Wednesday afternoon. Pretty beautiful afternoon here in Pittsburgh. Um, Weird this time of year. Qwoy, Silebor, Lino Vincent. Good to see you guys over on D Live. So welcome. And of course, we're on Rumble as well. I see Spiky999, our lone chatter over there, hanging out with our super mod, Joe Elaine. So good to see both of you over there in the chat. Shout out to the Twitter, Cloud Hub, Odyssey viewers out there as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And of course, we are live in the comfy bunker, pilled.net, the home of free speech and the exclusive home for the second half of our weekday broadcast, which is always super exciting. So shout out to all you guys hanging out over on Pill. Jump into chat, say hello. We're going to do our little roll call over there with the fam, and then away we go to start the Wednesday show at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Delia in there first. What's up, Delia? Hope all is well with you down there in Arizona. We got Lance Lightspear tuning in as well. Good to see you, buddy. Trump Red Pill and Esther G13 dropping by. Great to see both of you. Due diligence, Floyd. Never far behind once I make these topics here on Pilled. Great to see you, Floyd. Happy Wednesday. D Richard in the house. What's up, D? How's it going? Joe Elaine, of course, again, doing her mod thing as always. Thank you, Joe, for all you do. Due diligence, dropping a hump day cookie, kicking off our gold pills today. Very, very much appreciated. What's up, Patriot 714? Hope you're having a good one. And I see Facts Not Fear, HL Paco, and there's Spiky999. Double dipping as usual. Good to see you. We got Green Girl out there and Space Cookie. What's up, Space Cookie? R. Harrell dropping by. What's up, R. Harrell? Barb Robbins in the house. Great to see you. Barb Target Driver. Welcome. And Roy Stones and Bones hanging out with us from the West Coast. What's up, Roy? Kim Iowa bringing the heat as always. Texas Bear 77. Great to see you, man. Hope all is well. Is that Jenny I see? Says, hey from us. So that's a shout out for Lyle, a shout out for Jenny. Much love, you guys. I hope your Wednesday's going great. Kane Chris. What's up, Chris? How we doing, bud? Mr. Gerardo, good afternoon, my friend. Hope you're having a good one. Dizzy Rockin' checking in from abroad. Shout out to all of our Patriots abroad. He's checking in from Manchester, UK. Very cool. Hang 10 Alien Surfer out there as well. Norm, what's up, bud? Good to see you. Russell Awake. Russell, good to see you as well. General Buford in the house. Snow Bunny 68 checking into the comfy bunker. Love to see it. Range Pony. What's up, Range Pony? And we've got, let's see, who else? Don Ritchie, 17, and Eagle Freedom tuning in. Mad Joker out there as well. Gilligan's says hi from South Australia. Super cool. Another Patriot abroad. Always love to see Patriots from around the world hanging out with us. Steve B, hope all is well, buddy. Good to see you. Braves Piano, the Prince GT. Braves Piano says a happy Wednesday, Adel and friends, dropping a cookie. Thank you, Braves Piano. Much, much appreciated. Yavapai Michael in the house. Brian 1871 checking in as well. We got Dangleberry over in the comfy bunker. How's it going, Dangle? Aurelius Locke. And who else? Is that everybody? Drunk Pinata must be doing his show again today because I think everyone's hanging out, and rightfully so, over on Drunk Pinata. That's exactly what's happening. I was saying, like, where the hell is everybody? And then I forgot. Drunk Pinata makes his triumphant return to thinking logically, and he's got a captivated audience over there. We love to see that. So shout out to Pinata. Very much looking forward to catching up with him here today. And yeah, Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. How are you? Good to see you out there. Dave 74 UK, another Patriot abroad. Powdered Sugar, how are you? Good to see you as well. He's showing January 6th, says Laura Y. Well, that's important work. That is important work, and I'm glad he's doing it. So he's closing up now. Well, good timing, I guess. But it is 4 o'clock. We have hit the top of the hour, which means let's get this party started. Esther G13, thank you for the shades. I'm so happy to see our cheery Adel back. Happy New Year. Yeah, super cheery. Happy guy over here. Thank you, Esther. No, I'm hanging in there. I had a few rough days there. I'm feeling a little better. Good enough to at least come on here and not act like a total downer. So I appreciate that, though. And then Qhio 17, Sigurd Dragon Slayer, Mama Patriot 79, Roll Tide 18. Welcome, welcome. Drunk Pinata showed the January 6th video. What is the January 6th video? Is that the timeline video I saw the Gateway Pundit talking about? I need to watch that. I haven't had a chance to get in there and watch that yet. It's saved. I have it bookmarked. Jeff Den, welcome. Bender2NQ1, welcome. Good to see you guys. Seriously, though, it's time to get the show started. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. See you guys soon.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adel Nero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system to the roles they're assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, we're preaching with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only incentivized to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adel Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
Straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adel Nero.
All right. We are back officially now, starting our Wednesday broadcast. Patriot Donnie hooking us up with the ship right as we come back from the intro. What a guy. This has been trying to get the Rumble relics to switch over to Pilled. I love this platform way better. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. That's super cool. And thank you for the ship. Great way to kick off a broadcast. So just caught my eye right as I took down the intro. Anyway, it's great to be with you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, spending your Wednesday afternoon here on 412 Productions for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adel Nero. Many of you guys out there still know me as 412. It is January 3rd, 2024. Say it again, 2024. It still feels weird. Still, I've had to correct myself twice typing in the date for the show, or I almost put in 2023. Hopefully I figure that out before before too long. But anyway, I'm here with my very good friend Tennessee Homesteader. TN, happy Wednesday, bud. How we doing today?
Happy Wednesday. And right off the bat, I wanted to share because Max was asking me about this on Pilled as well as yesterday on chat. So this is what remains of the Christmas cookies. So I want to show everybody what a lovely work of art.
Wow.
Does on the Christmas cookies. There was the Christmas tree didn't last. That was eaten. My wife just had the Santa Claus. so what you see is what's left. Out of a dozen.
Yeah.
But,
well, you have more left than I do, TN. My plate has a few crumbs on it, and that's being generous. So
yeah, I haven't even touched one yet. And I'm saving my Thanksgiving ones. The Thanksgiving I vacuumed. I put them in. I vacuum packed them in right as they come. You know, with the bubble wrap and the whole bit.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
They don't get crushed or anything. And I
Very,
vacuum.
Make sure you make yourself a nice hot cup of coffee when you're ready to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because they are absolutely orgasmic with a cup of coffee. I gotta say, like they just
100%.
So good.
So hopefully Max is out in chat. I don't have it. Gosh,
I haven't seen the Rise Attire Tribe popping in. I think they're unwinding. They're on like a 2-week vacation for the holidays. So
yeah. She sent me the DM when they got back. So hopefully she'll watch on replay or whatnot. If not, she said she was gonna be back next week to join us.
Yeah.
So cool. I'll bring it back up then.
All right. Yeah. No, that sounds good. So there you go. TN showing off his Rise Attire Christmas cookies. They look fantastic, and I tell you what, they taste as good as they look, if not better. They sent me, I can't remember how many, but they're all gone. We'll just put it that way. They did not make it long in my house because they're just so tasty, and I love coffee. They go great with coffee. So anyway, anything else on your mind here, Tiana, as we get started?
No, I'm sure we're going to cover it within the show, but it's kind of funny. The movie's going on and people are not, get out to the lobby and buy the popcorn because it's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Extra butter, please. All right, let's see. Drunk Pinata joining the panel as well. What's up, Pinata? Happy Wednesday, man. Good to have you back in the fold. How was your triumphant return to the Thinking Logically show?
Pretty good. We had something I was waiting for to be released. We went over that. It's about an hour long. It's a really good put together timeline of different sets of January 6 footage by a defendant himself in the January 6er, and there were some things that I thought were earlier that were later. Some stuff that was later that I thought was earlier in the day. It really put together. Considering a lot of us have seen more than the mainstream news media, The mainstream news media is literally showing the very, very, very tail end, and that west entrance is well after the building was already starting to be cleared of protesters. So that by the time Roseanne Boyland was killed, there was they were already basically escorting people out. So there was, what reason did they have to hold that tunnel so vehemently? It doesn't make any sense when you look at it in the timeline.
Hmm. I've seen articles referencing it on the Gateway Pundit, and I saw them post it on Twitter. I have it bookmarked. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so that's interesting.
Definitely, everyone should watch this. It's free. It's I can put a link out there if you want. People were sharing this open ink open ink, from that, I guess, what Catherine and
Yep.
Greg, their
Mhm.
group, that's their site, but it's also on it. The group is called Investigate J6. So from Investigate J6, I think .com, or J6, a true timeline. Any of those keywords, you should be able to find it. People are saying it's on Rumble as well. Say it's everywhere, and it's free. And that was the purpose. I read through what the creator had said the purpose of it was, and things like this. So it really shows. And then there's some people, I'll tell you, some of these officers that are falling around. There's one guy in particular was using munitions outside of the DC law. They're supposed to provide three clear audible orders and enough time for people to respond, which did not happen before they started throwing munitions. And then he was even rebuked by other people. And it seemed as though those release of those munitions, combined with their own unpreparedness, because some of the smoke grenades are thrown back towards them, then they even gas their own people. All of that, when you look at this thing and when you look at what they're presenting here with timestamps, it shows just how, even including what was happening inside. So, like, what's happening with certification, it's clear that they tried to ramp this up as soon as the objections were starting to be heard. Like, it's very clear that some of these rogue officers potentially, and
Mhm.
they need to be talked to. Like, obviously the January 6th unselect committee is not going to talk to them. They didn't, obviously, but they need to be. Some of these people need to be called in to an actual. I don't know what Republican committees, or what
Well,
Republican controlled committees they could potentially use, but
they
um,
need to form one the same way the J6 committee was formed. They need to form one and investigate this from the other side. The fact that they haven't yet is baffling to me. They've done some good things in these committees, and they've, I think, done well to expose certain aspects of
I
the.
think if a trial date is set for Trump, and then Jack Smith manages to get it, them having a committee is an absolute must. You have to have something that will counter what's going on with that. And
It's just like the Republican Party, though, to wait until, like, to wait until 4 years later, and the other side to completely overstep even beyond what they already have to do something. Like, this should have been one of the very first things these feckless losers did when they came into the House, was set up this committee, investigated Nancy Pelosi, invested Muriel Bowser, invested Capitol Police in the DC Metro. They should have been calling these people in over the past 2-3 years to dispel this ridiculous narrative that paints most of the Republican Party supporters in this country, or conservatives in this country, as white supremacists or domestic terrorists. It's all based on these lies. And as usual, the Republican Party is too soft, too easily distracted, and doesn't really do anything of value or impact when it comes to these things. But here we are 4 years later, with hopefully the Biden administration heading towards the end of their run, and now they want to. And not even now they want to. They still haven't done anything. It's like they have to wait until Donald Trump is being railroaded through the justice system, and like maximum election interference before they raise a finger to do anything about it. We'll talk more about this too with Mayorkas and what's going on here in a little bit, but it's just always the same with them. They wait, they grandstand, they virtue signal. These are not men of action. These are not fighters. These are not people that are here to represent you, or help protect you through exposing those who wish to do us harm. They are absolute stooges, cogs in a much greater machine that needs to be destroyed. So anyway, good.
The timing of things.
Mm-hmm.
The people that were doing most of the battling, including the hallway, were the Metro PD.
Mm-hmm.
They arrived on the scene after it started. I believe and those are under Bowser. They're not under Capitol PD control.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm thinking that we're seeing the disparity in the action. Why the Capitol Police, by and large, sat back because it was peaceful. When they were there, it was peaceful. There was screaming and all that, but there wasn't any action. It wasn't until the Metro Police came in and started firing that the action began.
Yep, that's true, and I can show you what happened. So this was the interesting thing. Is
Every
that this
every yellow
this
vest
guy?
that you see, every yellow jacket you see, you have to point out every yellow jacket. Look at the guy that's most visible to the left of the black jacket. It's on the right-hand side, the black jacket, the guy that you can see the Billy Club and so forth, right? Look to the left of that. Every yellow jacket is Metro PD.
Yep.
Right.
Not Capitol PD, they're Metro PD. That's Washington, D.C., that's Bowser.
Now, this is the interesting thing about this particular person. This guy Thao, you can see down there in the header or in the subtitle. He says it's just going to make it worse. Stop, hold fire. But he's one of the main people throwing the stuff into the crowd. Watch this.
Moments later, the same officer seems to have changed his mind and is actively searching for munitions to discharge in the crowd.
I'm coming out with smoke. That's a burner, by the way.
A burner, or hot burning smoke grenade, can get extremely hot and become a fire risk.
They come back with it? Hey, do they throw it back? Okay.
The smoke grenade is tossed back behind the police line by someone in the crowd.
Eric, do we have any scat rounds?
Officer Thao goes back for more rounds. This time it's a CS gas canister.
I need triple chasers.
A triple chaser consists of 3 separate canisters pressed together with separating charges between each. When deployed, the canisters separate and land approximately 20 feet apart, allowing increased area coverage.
Notice the color of his arms. Notice the color of the guy of Tao's arms.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it appears as though
CPD's bag or his bag.
I think it's Metropolitan.
Right? Meaning, who came with those munitions? CPD or Metro?
Right.
Approval to use the triple chaser. Officer Thao appears to be reprimanded by another officer for his use of smoke moments earlier.
That's CPD.
I know, but this is triple chaser. I know, but this is blitzing. I mean, we got better.
That woman is Capitol Police.
Another captain tells Officer Thao to hold on discharging CS gas into the crowd. At around this same time, Ray Epps is once again caught from multiple cameras being at the front line of the demonstrators near police barricades. No other person has been seen at this many flashpoints, this many times.
Yep. So anyway, I'll put the link. I think Due Diligence wanted the link. There you go.
Yeah, definitely worth watching and fully understanding. I'm gonna check that out hopefully sometime in the next couple of days. Spend some time watching that as well. Very good. Pinata, anything else you want to say in the opening here before I get into and take care of our sponsor today?
No, I think that'll do it.
All right. Well, our sponsor for today's show is Earth Garden Botanicals. We love Earth Garden Botanicals. They are an amazing company up in Montana, run by our friend Jolene. She makes amazing wellness products up there. She's an herbalist and a health coach. These things are absolutely top notch. You will fall in love with this company once you start using their products. Their newest product is the white pine needle extract, so kind of an alternative to the tea. It's a bit more concentrated, and this was actually Tennessee Homesteader's idea. And what a great idea it was. I tried it for the first time a few days ago, and really, really liked it. So I highly recommend you guys try any of the pine needle products, whether it's the tea or the extract. Highly, highly recommend. Also, there's CBD oils and tinctures and gummies and all kind of good stuff. So CBD tinctures taste amazing, all grown, all the ingredients grown organically on Montana small farms. You have the CBD oil for pets, your R&R Delta 8 nighttime gummies, and the topical cream with CBD infused and arnica salve. You can get that with or without CBD, really good for sore muscles and joints. And then a bunch of other stuff too, like the elderberry tonic, which is really great for boosting your immune system. A great thing to have in the medicine cabinet this time of year. If you feel a cold coming on, can make a huge difference. Fire cider to clear your sinuses if you're feeling stuffed up, having trouble breathing. Fire cider should open up those airways for you. Again, the teas, I mentioned the sunshine and pine needle tea, but there's serenity, golden potion tea, and elderberry tea, all delicious, all are meant to serve a slightly different purpose. So check those out as well. Load up on some critter juice too to keep the insects and mosquitoes away. I know that it really only pertains to like the southern part of the country right now. It's a little too cold for mosquitoes, but it's a good product to have available. You never know when you might need it. It's all natural. It doesn't smell bad or leave you feeling oily and gross like a lot of other insect repellents do. So recommend the critter juice, and it works really, really, really well. I swear by this stuff. As someone who gets eaten alive by mosquitoes during the summer, that has made a major, major, major difference for me. So anyway, earthgardenbotanicals.com, promo code 412 gets you 10% off. Yes, we're back down to 10% off, but it's still great value with how awesome these products are. So if you missed out in December, I still highly, highly recommend that you check out what Jolene has to offer here and load up. Again, promo code 412 for 10% off your order. So that is our one and only sponsor for today's show. Guys, before I jump into our first news article, just want to ask you all, wherever you're watching, to please share the link, help us grow across all of our platforms. If you're on pilled.net, please do me a solid, hit that red pill button if you haven't already done so. Even more importantly, repost the show. That's always a big one, that circular button underneath the red and blue pills, that helps other people know that we're live on the platform. And then of course, copy and paste the link on your social media to help people not on the platform find their way to it. So again, big thank you to all of you guys out there and all the little things you guys do to continue to support this little operation here. All right, let's start with this. House panel to formally start impeachment proceedings against top Biden administration official. That's right, Alexander Mayorkas. So the U.S. House of Representatives is soon to start the impeachment proceedings against the federal government official in charge of the Department of Homeland Security. A House committee confirmed on January 3rd. The House voted in late 2023 to send an impeachment resolution for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas back to the House Homeland Security Committee rather than impeaching him. The committee is now preparing to take up the matter, a spokesperson told the Epoch Times. Quote, the bipartisan House vote in November to refer articles of impeachment to my committee only served to highlight the importance of our taking up the impeachment process, which is what we will begin doing next Wednesday. Representative Mark Green, the panel's chairman, told the Epoch Times in an emailed statement. Republicans say Americans want the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border to end and for lawmakers to hold officials responsible for the crisis accountable. That's why the House Committee on Homeland Security led a comprehensive investigation into the causes, costs, and consequences of the crisis, Mr. Green said. Our investigation made clear that this crisis finds its foundation in Secretary Mayorkas's decision-making and refusal to enforce the laws passed by Congress, and that his failure to fulfill his oath of office demands accountability. Mr. Mayorkas, 64, has presided over the worst border crisis in American history. Illegal immigration arrests at the southwest border have routinely set new records under Mr. Mayorkas and President Joe Biden, who appointed the former Obama administration official to the Department of Homeland Security. The arrests reportedly reached 302,000 in December 2022, which would be the highest monthly figure ever. Millions of other illegal immigrants have evaded border agents since early 2021, according to leaked DHS data. The crisis has cost taxpayers billions of dollars, the House committee said in a recent report, including paying for illegal immigrants' health care and incarceration. The crisis had other effects, including overwhelming some of America's largest cities. Democrat mayors in Chicago, New York, and Washington have criticized the administration after receiving illegal immigrants from border states such as Texas and Arizona. The federal government said to New York City, we're not going to do our job. You do our job. You take care of 4,000 people a week. Eric, you and your team. New York Mayor Eric Adams told reporters recently. Mr. Adams says he doesn't have an answer and that the problem needs to be resolved by the federal government. Mayorkas in Green response. So President Biden hasn't terminated any federal officials. Mr. Mayorkas has blamed outside factors such as what he described as the displacement of people due to climate change. I mean, give me a fucking break, right? And what he said in a broken immigration system that Congress needs to fix with legislation. Quote, our administration under President Biden's leadership has fought for that long needed fix since day one, when President Biden on the very first day of his administration submitted a comprehensive immigration reform bill to Congress, Mr. Mayorkas said on MSNBC January 3rd. And just to add some context to what Mr. Mayorkas is saying, the Biden administration is currently suing Texas to stop them from putting up razor wire or to allow them to cut down the razor wire that Texas is putting up to try to slow down the crossing of illegals into Texas. So they're saying, hey, we're trying to fix this while simultaneously using resources to stop Texas from mitigating the problem.
And
absolutely
stepped off the plane. The minute he stepped off the plane coming from the Caribbean, he was asked a question. He turns around and says, it's Congress that's not doing their job, and they should be giving me the money for me to enforce the border. That's what he said. Meanwhile, we're sending hundreds of billions to Ukraine.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a total joke.
Comprehensive immigration reform is a moniker that they've been using for the longest time. It's a catch-all amnesty. Okay, yep. It's a bullshit thing. The laws are already there. They don't need any new law to enforce the laws that are there.
Yeah, I mean, they had Remain in Mexico in place. It was fixing everything between that and the wall. There was no incentive to come up here. There was absolutely no incentive to come up here. They removed those and then acted like, well, we just don't understand why all this. It's horrible.
Oh, and on top of that, handing them money when they can fly them to wherever they want virtually, and on top of that, then give them health care, which this article speaks about. But it's not just health care. They're giving them food. They're giving them. He removes Title 42, which was an immediate refusal of entry and deportation if you were ill, sick, and there's no testing for any form of diseases.
Yeah, but you all out there should wear a mask and get vaccinated.
Yeah, and remember, while he was doing this, they were still requiring people coming in on airplanes to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's absurd. All right, so most recently, we have sought much-needed funding for our efforts to address the situation at the border, more Border Patrol agents, more asylum officers, more immigration judges, more investment in technology to battle the scourge of fentanyl, We are focused on fixing the challenge, on fixing the problem. We are focused on solutions. Mr. Mayorkas also said he would cooperate with the House investigation and hearings. The DHS said in a statement to news outlets that Republicans are wasting valuable time and taxpayer dollars pursuing a baseless political exercise that has been rejected by members of both parties and already failed on a bipartisan vote. There is no valid basis to impeach Secretary Mayorkas, as senior members of the House majority have attested. This extreme impeachment push is a harmful distraction from our critical national security priorities.
You mean like the border, which is literally a national security priority?
Exactly. Secretary Mayorkas and the Department of Homeland Security will continue working every day to keep Americans safe. The House narrowly approved on November 13th, 2023, a motion that sent an impeachment resolution for Mr. Mayorkas back to the House Homeland Security Committee, with 8 Republicans joining all Democrats in the vote. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who authored the resolution, said that she was pleased with the news that the House will be holding hearings soon on the matter. Quote, before the House left Washington for Christmas break, I forced a vote on my impeachment resolution that put every member on the record. Unfortunately, some Republicans joined every single Democrat to block the resolution and save Mayorkas's job. Ms. Greene wrote in a January 3rd post on X, I reintroduced my resolution the very next week and pulled it only once I was guaranteed we would impeach Mayorkas in January. Well, I'm happy to report that the first official impeachment hearing for Secretary Mayorkas will be taking place next Wednesday. So there you go. Those of you that wanted to see Mayorkas impeached, it looks like that's going to start in January. But I will say this. Fuck the GOP, fuck the Republican Party. These cowards. How could you wait? 3 full calendar years of constant invasion at the southern border before pulling the trigger on impeachment? This is such an obvious campaign tool for 2024. All these people care about is their social media clout, raising money on this bullshit and using it for their campaign. If these people gave 2 flying fucks about this country, about the border security, about the safety of the United States citizens, this would have been done within 6 months of getting the House. So I'm sorry, I said 3 full years. That's my fault. Over a year and a few months. Since they gained control of the House. It should have been one of the very first things they did. They let a full year of record number illegal immigrants come across the border with impunity. And they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing about it for a year. And now that it's an election year and they're all going to be campaigning, they're all going to be trying to, convince their voters that they are, these, wonderful America First Republicans that want to, protect you and do all these things. They're so full of shit. They're absolutely so full of shit. If they were serious, this would have been one of the very first things they did, but they're not. They're using it. They are using it as a tool to manipulate your emotions and get you to trust many of them who really should not be trusted at all. So I'm not impressed. I'm happy it's happening, but I'm not impressed. This should have happened way sooner. But here we are. So any other thoughts on the impeachment of Alexander Mayorkas? Go ahead, Tien.
We had to have a change. I wanted him to be the first one, and it looks like he will be the first one. But we had to have a change. We had to have a change, rather. McCarthy. Because this started rolling after McCarthy. Now, Green, MTG rather, put the motion first, and they sent it back to committee, and she was up in arms about it. It's interesting what the tactics are, because through the committee you can have the evidence. I don't know. I'm torn because I agree with you on principle, but I'm also at the aspect of saying the people had to see all of this. You had to see the hypocrisy out of Adams. You had to see the hypocrisy out of Holcomb in New York. You had to hear it from Chicago, which it cost Lightfoot her job, amongst other things. But immigration was one of them. Sorry, illegals were one of them. Now the new mayor there is in hot water with the same issue again. They're trying to blame Abbott for shipping them over there, and Abbott is now sending them to New Jersey so they can take the train. You know why? It's because Adams put a restriction, signed an executive order saying controlling how many buses and what they call migrants, illegals, can come into the city. So
I thought it was a sanctuary. I thought it was a sanctuary.
Yeah. But they can't handle the number, right? So what does he do? First of all, he goes out to these foreign countries to plead with them, and not once does he mention illegal, right? And but I crack up because he blames it on Abbott. Now I'm not necessarily supporting Abbott in the sense that he should be busing them to Mexico, but nonetheless he's busing them because of that he's now busing them to New Jersey and then giving them tickets to go across on the train because Adams put the restriction on the buses, not on the trains.
Well, I mean, the games are fun and cute and everything, and
And he's saying, "Come into the country. I don't care if you." He's essentially saying, "I don't care if you come into the country. Just don't come to New York."
yeah.
So it's okay if you go and shit everywhere else. Just don't do it in New York, and New York City in particular.
What a joke.
What a joke. And that's why we had to see. Unfortunately, I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm torn because we had to see it. We didn't. We here didn't. Those that have been awakened didn't. But you have to also admit the majority of the people were not awake. They had to be bombarded with the crap. They had to be bombarded with the J6 crap. They had to be bombarded with the hypocrisy left and right from the Democrat Party and the rhinos. The true enemies of the state.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with that on some level. They could have continued doing these things while impeaching him in 2023. It would have been easy to do. They didn't need to wait. Like Abbott would have still been busting illegals. Illegals still would be crossing at record rates, even with an impeachment going on. It's not like Mayorkas is going to change what they're doing.
No,
Uh,
I agree.
so again,
Mayorkas is just following the
that's my problem with the Republicans here is this very obvious, let's wait until an election year to do anything mindset. It just shows what this is all really about for them. It's not about fixing things or holding people accountable. It's how can I use these terrible things that are going on, these crises? How can I politicize this to raise money from donors or to garner votes or make catchy little videos on social media to grow my following or whatever. Like that's what these people care about. They're not results oriented. They're not men of action. They're not there to actually go and fight for you in any meaningful way. They're there to harness the energy from your discontent, figure out when they can use that righteous indignation that wells up inside of you, the voter, when they can harvest that for their own personal gain. They could care less about preserving our culture, preserving your safety or anything like that. These people are the scum of the fucking earth, and I'm so tired of their game, TN. I'm so tired
That's
of.
fine, but you still had to see it, and that's the reality of it. And I see comments that say we're sick of it. You're sick of it. I'm sick of it. And then this is not a criticism, right? But you have to look at the country as a whole. A single small group of people that are fed up are not going to make the change. And to have it be long lasting, you have to have the impetus for a majority, and I do mean a majority, 60% plus of the people in the country. Nobody can tell me that's where we're there now. Nobody can say that. We're not there. Now, the other aspect is, and I'm not picking on you, Facta Dems. I'm not picking on you at all. But it says there are UN soldiers coming with weapons. There's no such thing as a UN soldier. The UN doesn't have soldiers. Wherever that's coming from is a canard and bullshit. The UN doesn't have soldiers. The UN utilizes soldiers provided by other countries. If there are people coming in that are soldiers and military age men, which I don't disagree with whatsoever, look to the country that's sending them, because they're not UN soldiers. There's no such thing as a UN soldier. They wear blue helmets or white helmets once those countries have donated them, so to speak, and operate under the auspices of the UN. That's when they wear blue or white helmets. But anyways, so yeah. we have to keep this. This is the point in time we have to be very discerning and very okay, Dangleberry, whatever. This is where we have to be discerning. We're not doing ourselves any favor by propagating crap. No, this is world debt now. Need 3% to do what? To fight. That's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, this isn't, we're not talking about like an armed revolution. That's the last thing any of us want. What we're talking about is a peaceful revolution of voting.
We're talking about the systemic change that has to occur in the country, has to occur across multiple years. In order to have that, you have to have a willing populace that is the majority of the populace wanting that change.
Yeah, it's you need a whole like raise of consciousness on this issue in general. So I do agree with you, Tien. People do need to see it. It needs the effect, and you are seeing it take its toll. I mean, you're seeing the backlash from what I'm going to call former Democrat communities over this issue in Chicago and in New York and other places. The people that are being displaced or having resources diverted away from them to these to these illegals that are coming in, they're creating a political backlash and a cultural backlash towards this whole idea of open borders and giving asylum to anybody who wants it. This whole system is being exposed, and people need to be negatively affected by it to demand the change. And to Tien's point, it's not the people listening to this show right now that need convincing. It's a whole different group of people, a massive group of people that need to literally be figuratively punched in the mouth by these problems before they realize how dangerous and bad for them these policies are. And we are seeing that take place. My only point was, all of this would still be happening had they started the impeachment process back in February of 2023, a month into taking the House. That's my only point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
They kicked the can down the road. They sat there and talked about what a big problem it was without ever taking any action to fix it. The only actions that they took to fix it were just like show like they're basically surface level virtue signaling opportunities, like, oh, we're going to write this bill that we know the Senate won't touch and that Joe Biden will instantly veto, and then we'll tell you that we wrote the bill on Twitter for 6 months, instead of just getting right to the core of it, impeaching Mayorkas off the start, the second he started breaking all of these laws and not doing the right thing at the border. Instead, they sat there and they talked a big game. They did absolutely nothing. And then, oh wait, it's an election year. Yeah, I think it's time to impeach. Let's hold somebody accountable now. knowing that by the time this all works its way through, all the damage is already going to be done. All the damage is already going to be done. And guess what? The Senate, where you need, I think, like 17 plus Democrats to come over and also want to remove Mayorkas, they know they're not getting a conviction there. They know they're not. These people don't want solutions. These people aren't trying to get anything done. They're working for votes and donor dollars, and that's it. Now, sometimes their desire for your vote and and donations, sometimes they run parallel to the things that actually need to be done, and that works out. But you can always tell by the timing of when these things happen, how these people think, what's important to them, and what it is they're actually trying to accomplish. And make no mistake about it, this impeachment of Mayorkas by the Republican Party right now is nothing more than a political show to help them hopefully improve their majority in 2024. There's a handful of them out there that genuinely want accountability. Most of these people would have voted against it or made sure there was at least a small caucus of Republicans willing to vote against it, so that they could time this out in a way that's advantageous to them. Most of these people are riding on the coattails of this, acting like they're for it now because it benefits them in a few months. When we get to November, they can sit there and say, I voted for the impeachment of Mayorkas and want to secure the border and blah blah. So that's my only point.
I disagree with you on the Senate. Right now, they're hurting. They're hurting really bad. And this is being publicized now on mainstream media across the board. The numbers across the board, all of them are reporting on it. Some of them a little more diligently than others, but they're all reporting on the fiasco that the border is. Mayorkas is a sacrificial lamb to save Biden, or at least the narrative. Easy peasy. And then they'll use the comprehensive immigration reform and all that kind of bullshit line. But to sacrifice Mayorkas, easy. They would do it, particularly now.
Anytime you and I are at odds on one of these things, I'm always wrong. So I'll just go ahead and say you're probably right. But I tell you, I say that jokingly. I don't think you're going to get 17 Democrat senators. I don't even think you'll get all the Republican senators to vote, honestly, the way you want to. I could see Mitt Romney, since he's not even running for re-election anymore. I could see that guy completely voting with the Democrats to save Mayorkas. I could see Susan Collins doing it. I could see Lisa Murkowski doing it. There's plenty of these rhinos even that will up that number from the Democrats even higher. And I'll be interested to keep an eye on quotes and tweets and things like that from these people. That'll tell a lot. If you have a lot of the Democrat caucus in the Senate coming out over the next few weeks as these things are getting started, calling it a waste of resources and a political whatever, this, that, or the other thing, I think it'll send a very clear signal that there's no hope that even the most damning Senate trial is going to yield the results that you might hope for. Now, if the
taking bets on that,
if the Democrats in the Senate remain very quiet on this, then maybe there's something there. But
they're caught between that and Biden right now. They're caught because Biden is sucking big time, not just on the polls, but actually in the reality of what's coming, the news that is trying to be suppressed but can't be. So I'm taking bets.
Yeah, let's take a look in the. I'm curious who's on what side of this in the chat. Wherever you're watching, go into chat. If you agree with Tennessee Homesteader that there is a good, or we'll just say a reasonable possibility that you'll get enough Democrats to convict Mayorkas in a Senate impeachment trial, put a 1 in. If you agree with me, where you think a snowball has a better chance in hell of surviving in hell.
He's not giving you a biased choice, is he?
I'd say I'm giving you.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. If you agree with Tien, vote a 1. If you believe it's a snowball's chance in hell,
I gave you. I'm saying for me, you have to think there's 0% chance. I said for you a reasonable chance. I feel like I'm giving you way more range of
Don't ever let
duration.
Adel put out the question for a poll. And in fact,
I'm feeling very attacked right now, Tien. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling like my integrity is being severely attacked, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it one bit. And look, you're winning the poll. Well, you were until.
They all know where the bread is being buttered. In fact, the Dem says he tagged me with that statement so that he would get a real response. Thank you.
Look at all the,
That's
look at
about
all
the
the news. They know who releases the scratch in at the end of the show. That's what it is. They know who releases that scratch in at the end of this show. Oh my God. I'll be honest, there's more ones than I thought there would be. I feel like we have a fairly cynical audience, especially when it comes to what the Democrats are doing. So I'm actually impressed that you convinced as many people out there that this is even a possibility, because it doesn't seem possible to me. But thank you guys so much, everyone participating in our little poll. That was fun. That was fun. So,
well, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, nothing else. You got it. Well, never mind. People are voting more than that's election fraud there. Dear X510, you voted 5 times. That's unacceptable. People are voting.
Unless you're from Illinois, you're not allowed.
The mailman's coming. I wonder how many mail-in votes we're gonna get on this.
That would be so funny. Like the day after tomorrow, you start getting cards saying one.
Yeah, right. We go to the PO box, and there's going to be a note card with the number 1 in there. That's
They all come from a zip code in Tennessee, and I don't know why.
Yeah, they come from all from the same address, from some abandoned house in Tennessee, with no signature verification whatsoever. Missing dates, no signature verification. It's just a mess. It's just an mess.
You gotta count
them.
Oh my God, I'm getting a headache now.
It's good to laugh about it. And then you have this, just again, if it doesn't further prove my point, Speaker Johnson leads delegation to border, highlighting immigration crisis. So of course, let's take a field trip down there using taxpayer dollars to really virtue signal on the problem that everybody already know exists, or anyone that's going to listen to the Republicans already know exists. Here you go. House Speaker Mike Johnson will lead a delegation of 60 Republican lawmakers to Eagle Pass, Texas on January 3rd, highlighting the illegal immigration crisis that has overwhelmed the Customs and Border Protection Service, flooding both border communities and major cities with as many as 12,000 people a day entering the country unlawfully. The visit comes amid negotiations between the House and Senate over approval of $106 billion supplemental request from President Joe Biden, which includes $45 billion for Ukraine and $14 billion for Israel. Mr. Johnson informed the Senate in December that the House Republicans would not approve additional military aid for Ukraine until that chamber approved the provisions of H.R. 2 to secure the Border Act, which the House passed nearly a year ago. The Speaker urged President Biden to take executive action to address the border crisis in a December 21st letter. Quote, "The wide open border has caused unspeakable human tragedy for migrants and certainly for our own citizens," Mr. Johnson wrote. Local communities have been devastated, and terrorists and dangerous criminals have entered illegally and dispersed across our country. We are now more vulnerable to terrorist attacks on our homeland than ever. Mr. Johnson called on the president to take immediate executive action, including putting an end to the catch and release policy and either deporting or detaining those crossing the border illegally, reinstating the Remain in Mexico policy instituted during the Trump administration, and resuming construction of the border wall. 1 week later, Johnson reacted to discussions between Secretaries Alejandro Mayorkas and Anthony Blinken and Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador concerning amnesty for illegal immigrants. Quote, the United States must focus on policies that deter, not attract people attempting to come here illegally, and the smugglers who profit from the catastrophe at our border, Mr. Johnson wrote on December 28th. This development further demonstrates the administration has no real intention of solving the humanitarian disaster and immediate national security crisis their policies have created. I'll leave that there. It goes on for a bit longer, but don't worry, guys. The Republicans are visiting the border, so all will be well very, very soon. I don't have much else to say about it. It's a feckless bunch of lobbyist controlled losers playing games, trying to act big and bad. Again, there's no real intention to do anything about this, at least not right now. So it is what it is, but what it is to me is just lame and frustrating to see how these people operate and think. But with that, we are already at 4:54. I can't believe how fast today's broadcast is moving along. Thank you guys again, everyone who's been tuning in today. This is where we go to exclusively to pilled.net for the second half, and you're going to want to catch the second half of today's show. We've got updates on the Jeffrey Epstein list. There are some delays, and now there's not going to be delays, and there is going to be delays, and there's not going to, I don't know. I keep seeing different things, but I think I've got the latest on the Jeffrey Epstein thing. So I've got a few articles on that. And then we're going to spend some time with the Harvard president who resigned recently. So I want to spend some time on that, get some media reaction. And then there's some other things too. True the Vote won a big election lawsuit in Georgia. We need to read about that a little bit. Got a poll on the American citizens, perception of the Ukraine war. Not good news for the establishment and the war hawks out there that want to continue sending money over to Ukraine, and then some January 6th stuff, including what's up next for Ray Epps. Looks like he might be going and spending some time in jail based on what I'm reading. So some interesting things going on. I've got a bunch of other things too that we may or may not get to. It's going to be a packed and fun second half of the show. So those of you guys watching on Rumble, please jump over. And I see Ophelia's Flowers over on Rumble right now. Ophelia, thank you so much for that Rumble rant yesterday. I didn't read it until after we went exclusively to Pilled. I don't know if you heard me read it or thank you, but thank you so much for the support. I really did appreciate that a lot, and I felt really bad that I didn't get to it in time. But anyway, jump on over to pilled.net. I've got the link in the video description beneath the Rumble stream. I'm also going to put it into the Rumble chat to make it super easy on you guys. Yeah, really appreciate all of you who continue to jump over and follow us over in the comfy bunker, the true home of free speech online. So I'm going to play a little video. We'll come back on the other side, say goodbye to the other platforms, and then we'll get into a lot of this stuff in the second half of the show. See you guys in 90 seconds.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home
That's not
of
the
free
right
speech.
one.
To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family. And if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
I did it again. Son of a bitch. Muted. What, 2 shows into the new year? I already fucked up. It is what it is. How do I get on pilled.net on my TV and cell? You can get on your cell just by going to pilled.net and finding the channel, and then you can cast it to your TV. But make sure you use your browser if you want to play the show with your screen locked. You just use your browser to get there. Use like the Safari browser if you're on iPhone, and then there'll be a little picture-in-picture button you hit. When you lock this screen, you should be able to continue playing. You should be able to continue playing the show audio only on a lock screen. So anyway, yeah, this is a last chance to get over to pilled.net. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys who do that, who find their way over and continue hanging out with us. Again, I put the link in the live chats, and it's in the Rumble video description for you to make it super easy to find your way over. If you're not going to jump over, it's no worries. I understand. We will be back across all platforms tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time when we do Taking It Back, featuring Frankie Val, the Quite Frankly Show, Zach Payne of Red Pill 78. It's going to be a fun little broadcast. That'll also be syndicated by our good friends over on Badlands Media as well. So please come join us for that. But it is time now to say goodbye to our other platforms. So we'll shut off DLive, Rumble, Twitter,